Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to my latest episode. Yeah, we were just at the, me and Jose were at the Disney store last week in Mississauga, and I bought a few things. Couldn't help myself. It's the first thing I picked up. It's the First Order Stormtrooper. This is a really nice piece. It stands about 14 inches tall. The detail is excellent, and this only cost $28.95. So yeah, and the nice thing about these toys from the Disney store is they are exclusive to the Disney store. So you can't get them anywhere else. You can't walk into like a Walmart or a Toys R Us and find it. It's only at the Disney store, and the prices were really excellent. So I saw it. I had to have it. Look at the detail on that. Some cool little sound effects there. Yeah, so my latest acquisition. Really enjoyed that. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last episode we do before the Fan Expo. So we've got quite a bit to cover tonight. I got my special guest Mike and my special guest Jose coming. They're not here yet, but they'll be here soon. They've brought some really great books, and we're going to go through them for you. And this is the second piece I picked up. It's a First Order Stormtrooper, die-cast metal. Quite a nice size and really a nice weight to it. And this was only $10.95. An exclusive. You only get it at the Disney store. And for $10.95 you can't go wrong. There's also an X-Wing fighter I want to pick up as well. It's the regular white X-Wing fighter, and I think Poe Dameron's black X-Wing fighter is also available as well. Cool. Okay, like I said, this is probably going to be the last episode for the Fan Expo. We're all starting to get prepared for the Fan Expo. It's going to be a really, really great event this year. For a number of reasons. First of all, as I'm sure most of you are aware, this is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And in being the 50th anniversary, isn't that nice? Look at the detail on that. I really like that. Anyways, being the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, there's going to be a lot of Star Trek fans there. William Shatner's going to be there. Nichelle Nichols, George Takei, plus some of the next generation like Brent Spiner's going to be there, Cade Mulrew. So yeah, really looking forward to it. One of the things I'm actually quite disappointed about is Mark Hamill. He's going to be there, and I was kind of looking forward to getting his autograph, but he used to announce his price. He's going to be charging $195 for an autograph. So, yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to pay $195. As you saw in one of my earlier episodes, I had one of my Star Wars posters signed by Gary Kurtz, and I was kind of hoping to get Mark Hamill to sign it as well, but not for $1.95. That's just way out of my price range. So what I think I might do is I'll either get Haley Atwell to sign, maybe a poster or a card or something. Or another thing I was thinking about doing is getting Linda Blair to sign a lobby card, because The Exorcist is is a seminal horror film, and it'd be nice to get her autograph. She's only charging $40, so I figure what the hell. So that's another thing I might do. One of the other things I'm sort of excited about as well is a lot of the cosplayers that are going to be there. Last year Leanne Vamp was there, and she's a very well-known cosplayer. She goes to cons all over the world. She was just in San Diego last month. Last year I had the opportunity to get some real nice shots of her in a really kind of sexy Boba Fett costume, and they turned out really, really well. And I've been shooting a lot of the cosplay recently because I used to be a professional photographer. And I'm pretty good, and I see a lot of those cosplay photographers, and I see their work, and I know that I'm at least as good, and sometimes a lot better than they are. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that at this con, along with shooting video, and also there's also Elodia Gossenfeo is going to be there, who's if I'm not mistaken, one of the top cosplayers in the world. I wouldn't mind getting some shots of her as well. If I can pull her aside for a few minutes, hopefully she'll be able to do it. And if I am successful in doing that, then I'll have something to show you from that shoot as well at the next episode. So yeah, so that's one of the things I'd like to do if I can get a bit of her time, like maybe 5-10 minutes. But we'll see. Let's see how it goes. Regardless, we're going to come back with some great videos, some great photos, and I'm going to post them. And yeah, it's going to be a really fantastic time. So yeah, without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the other area, and I'm going to show you, some of the, some of the books we've got to show you tonight. So let's not waste some more time. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to get right down to business here. We're not going to mess around. We're starting with a 10-cent cover, a very, very beautiful book, and one of Jose's books. And wow, what a way to start. Strange Adventures. Jose, go, man. What's going on here?
Okay, Strange Adventures, number 130. It's an early Silver Age book from July of '61. And you're right to point it out. It's a 10-cent cover. Of course, that's why I bought it. And of course, the cover appeal. Cover appeal, you can never go wrong. The last 10-cent cover was issue 134. So if you're trying to get a guide mark as far as when the 10 cents go to 12 cents, it's usually 61 for both Marvel and DC. Okay? So this title, Strange Adventures, was the title of several American comic books published by DC, the first of which began in August-September 1950. Strange Adventures ran for an incredible 244 issues until September-October of '73.
That's unbelievable, eh?
Yeah. How many runs can you get? Over 200? It is kind of a big milestone. It was DC's first comic science fiction title. The first issue began with an adaptation of the film Destination Moon. Now, again, cover appeal. It's a really good book. Unfortunately, the one condition flaw that it has on the back cover, it has about a nickel, slightly larger than a nickel-sized circular medium brown stain on it. So that kind of puts a hole in my boat, so analogy-wise. Like, otherwise, what might be a 6.57 book is done automatically drop down to about a 4.45.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't notice that at the time we were looking at it.
Yeah, we didn't really look at it closely, which is, it's, mea culpa. Like I said, caveat emptor. But, I paid $50, which is about what,
You still
40,
did okay.
$40 US. I mean,
still okay, and it still got the cover appeal.
Yeah, and one of the few last things to say is that the two titles in the run which are currently keys that you could look for is issue 187, and that's the first appearance of Enchantress. Of course, that's very topical because as a member of the revived and modern Suicide Squad, the movie is dropping in a week's time. August 6th. Yeah, be there or be square.
Wow.
The second key issue is 205, which got the first appearance of Deadman, a founding member of Justice League Dark. We've seen a copy of that book. One of our locals swapped it with another of the locals, so
yeah,
it's an interesting book. But those are the two keys. It's a great run for if you want nice science fiction kind of horror titles. We got this at our local Retro Rare from Sandy. He bought a collection, and it was a mixed bag collection. I think I titled it The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It was like a Sergio Leone flick. Unfortunately, there's a lot of kind of bad and ugly. But one of the key books that I picked up is a slab book, which will be the last book of the evening. So enough said. Let's get on with more books.
Okay, I just want to reiterate because you're talking really fast tonight, Jose. Yeah. So the two key issues for Strange Adventures, you said number 205 because it's the first
Dead Man, and 187 Enchantress coming out in the Suicide Squad movie in a week's time.
So if you're looking for Strange Adventures, 205 and 187, these are the books you'll want. And fantastic. So here we go. That was great, Jose. Loved that book, and I got to be honest, I was looking at it at the same time. The nice thing about hanging out at the same comic book store every
week,
Saturday, is we get to see a lot of the new, collections that Sandy buys.
Stuff as it comes in.
Yeah, we came in, like I say, we just kind of concluding the deal. We hung back for 5-10 minutes, and then we just like swooped in just as he's buying a collection, so we get to see some of the really cool books. And we picked some nicer looking copies, nicer ones. My last book of the evening is a CGC book. Boy, you know that rush feeling you got when you bought that Iron Man #1? Ditto for me. That's what I got from this book.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's move on here. And next we got Big Mike up with a really, really nice Adventure Comics number 392. Beautiful 15-cent cover. Wow, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, he's going to teach us. We're in comic book class, and here is the cover to talk about that. Go, Mike.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not that much of a teacher compared to you, but but this is, cover appeal, and You know, here we got a book from, what 1970.
I would have
April of
guessed that.
1970.
15-cent covers. They came in
15 cent.
69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't get a deal on this. I was on vacation the last couple of weeks, and it's just kind of like going in and just trying to grab stuff, like missing the con, basically. So
Yeah.
I'm paying almost full retail for this stuff.
You're in withdrawal. You haven't been to
Yeah,
a
it was
con
on
and buying
withdrawal.
books. Yeah.
So I paid, 26 and a quarter for this U.S. dollars, and it's worth about $27.50. So I made a buck or whatever.
You paid
Yeah.
guide, basically. You paid
But,
what the book's worth.
Here's a book that's got 4 first appearances. One
Really?
of them's a villain.
Wow.
But they all die, and you
Okay,
never
so
see
it's
them
first
ever
and last,
again.
as I call them.
yeah.
We call them first and last.
Yeah.
First and last. The cover's by Kurt Swan and Murray.
Severin?
Murphy Anderson.
Murphy
sorry.
Anderson. He's a big name
Yeah,
DC
big
guy.
name DC guy. And
Yeah.
so here you got the best of a lot of nice goodness. Nice wholesome book. It's about a 7.0.
And if you need any more push, of course, the Supergirl TV show apparently has gotten some pretty good reviews for what it is. It's been switched networks. I think it went from network to one of the cable channels, but it's gotten positive reviews. So that's another little bit of heat to add for a Supergirl title.
Yeah.
Of course, her very first appearance is just shot through the roof. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm liking the Supergirls from the Adventure Comics. She's in there a lot.
yeah.
There's this very small series that I have about one of 9 of her small series as well that I grabbed, but they're getting really pricey. So I thought, not a bad idea. Get some Supergirl in there, and I like these actually better than the TV show because I've seen the TV show.
Oh, well, thanks.
I'm sorry.
Hey, cool, man. That's the thing.
that's
Part
my
of the
own
show
opinion.
here is to educate. So, thanks for that info.
I don't like the show, but I do like the comics.
I got to
What
be
can I
honest.
say?
I'd be lying if I said I'm a Supergirl kind of informed guy. I don't know much about it other than knowing that her very first appearances are really expensive.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
book, Goog.
Nice book.
Thank you. Okay, well, this next book is Jose's book. It's a Green Lantern, and as you know, I have some serious Green Lantern books from the Silver Age. This is earlier Silver Age. Jose, I need you to tell me all about this.
Beautiful
I'm a little
book.
bit jealous. It's a beautiful book. Where are we going?
No problem. So, number 41 from the second of Volume 2 series, December of 65. This good book has got the third appearance of Carol Ferris as Star Sapphire and the first appearance of Della Farron as Star Sapphire. Now, that's what the title refers to, the two Starfires. Now, the lore of Green Lantern, Carol Ferris as Star Sapphire is the most recognized and popular version of this character. Actually, she's really almost the only popular character of this character, no matter what area you're talking about.
Yeah.
As the villainous Starfire, Green Lantern number 16 from the second series is the first appearance of Carol Ferris as the Silver Age Green Lantern, a villain who would later become a hero in later renditions. This issue, unfortunately, is already really high up there in price for sure, especially for CGC high-grade copies. Now, in terms of second appearances in the Silver Age, Carol Ferris once again turns into Star Sapphire in issue 26. The next one, now that's this one, the next time Carol Ferris is seen as Starfire is in this issue, number 41. But this comic actually has two Starfires in it. This issue has the first appearance of Della Farron as Samaran, who has it in her mind to force Hal Jordan into marrying her. After Della Farron defeats Green Lantern and he agrees to marry her, Carol Ferris as Star Sapphire breaks up the wedding and battles Della Farron. The character of Della Farron would later appear infrequently, but as a member of the Star Sapphire Corps in later issues.
Yeah.
Why did I pick up this book? You were very good to introduce it, Mike, because I've been seeing the copies you've been getting, and I realized I didn't really have a nice Green Lantern from the Silver Age. And one of my favorite female nemesis is, of course, and the arch nemesis is a Star Sapphire.
Cool.
It's not a first appearance, it's not a second appearance, it's a third appearance of one character and a first appearance of another character. Is that?
Very early. So
I
that's
should
cool.
mention that Retro Rare, and this is from actually Sandy's personal collection. This
Yeah.
was his book. He had probably this book when he was growing up. It's got, let's talk about the condition. It's about a mid-grader, and it's got a nice stamp on it, or an arrival. Luckily, it missed her by a little bit, although I
Yeah.
think it's just to the edge of Della Farron as Star
Fades away
Sapphire.
on her anyway.
Yeah, so you can see it. It's not in a great place, but what are you going to do? Again, we talked about stamps in crucial areas. Of course, the worst case I can imagine is that Amazing Spider-Man 72.
Yeah, there's the last episode. I mean, this one is a kind of a faded stamp, so it doesn't stick out like a store thumb.
Yeah, it's
he
not
gave
bad.
it to me for a good price. It was $100 Canadian, which is about $75 US.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's a really good. I think in this condition, which I would guess would be about a 5, 6 maybe, something like that. It's, like I said, it's well under guide. I mean, I haven't looked it up lately, but
Yeah.
we're going to showcase the last Overstreet with this
Yeah.
episode, so we can talk about new prices and new guides.
Did you want to talk about Comic Book Realm for a sec? Because Jose takes an issue with the fact that I
Yeah,
put.
you know what? Like anything else, like when people complain about the Overstreet as far as some pricing being not reflective of what the market is, what I've recently found out, and I've been going to the Realm a lot, and I check out their pricing, they're pretty accurate up to a point. In other
Yeah.
words, what I'm trying to refer to is above grades of 9, and specifically after 9.2,
Yeah.
I mean, no. You'll notice Overstreet does not give prices for grades above 9.2 because the fluctuations above 9.2 are really wild, especially
Yeah.
for really high-grade copies. You're talking 9.6s, 9.8s, and for more modern books, 9.9s, or even like the rare 10 white rhino that you might see out there. So they're not really reflective. I mean, it's interesting because I don't know, most other guys don't have pricing for 9.9 and 10s. I mean, they're such rare dodos
Yeah.
that what's the point? I mean, there might be one or a few copies of a 9.9 or even, God forbid, a 10. So really, up to 9 or 9.2, I kind of agree with their pricing. It's fairly reflective of the market, but above that, I mean, I hate to say it, no.
Yeah, okay.
I-
Or to simplify what Jose just said, a lot of the time Comic Book Realm's pricing above 9.2 is too low.
Or
Too low.
subjective.
Yeah.
Because I think it
Well, not subjective, too low. Too low. Let's call it what it is. If you see a
Well, because they
Spider-Man
can't
number
react-
50,
They can't react to
Yeah,
the prices
for
that are
something
actually
at what,
getting-
$220 US?
yeah,
They
which
cannot react to the prices that are actually being bought out.
I think
at
a
the
book
time.
like that, we're talking between roughly $600 and up. So I mean, that's three.
and the Realm's got it for 300.
Exactly. So like we're talking if it's 2 or 3 times the
Okay.
price. I mean, like I said, in market reports in the Overstreet Guide, sometimes they'll say 150, 100%, 200, 300% of guide. That means double, triple, quadruple, quintuple the price of whatever the guide says because it's not what it actually is.
The bottom line is don't rely on the price guides. Go to the comic conventions and see what they're dropping. You'll get a more accurate idea
Well,
of what.
use everything.
Yeah.
Use everything.
Melt it all together and come
Melt
up
it all
with your
together and
visual
come up with
grade.
your own-
My best
yes,
advice
exactly.
as a last parting word on this thing, I would say that buy the book, not the grade.
Yeah.
Like I said, in this case, like I said, the commission was one of those mushy mid-grades. I call them 6 and 7s and
Yeah.
5s. I mean, they're very interchangeable. You have to start nitpicking. I mean, I'm not giving it a full fine because of the stamp, but I mean, for a 5.5, I mean, so...
I don't consider
I did
a se-
okay.
I don't consider 7 mushy. I
Yeah.
like 7s.
Yeah, hey, I'll take a
Right.
7 any day.
7 all day.
Okay, for our next book, this is Avengers King Size Annual number 10, a book which I already own. I think Paul had this book literally for 2 minutes before I bought mine, but let's get to Paul himself and tell us about this book.
And I
That's-
don't have it, and I'm jealous, by the way.
That's right. I had it like 2 minutes before you bought it, or like maybe a day or two, whatever, dude. But the bottom line is, okay. First of all, this is the only book I'm going to show tonight because Jose and Mike came in with their hands full. They got some really great books, so this is the only one I'm going to show. But it is a big boy book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, anybody knows anything about comics? I don't know this needs much introduction. I think we're all aware that this is the first appearance of Rogue.
Rogue, love
And,
Rogue.
Yeah, and I just love this book. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of the cover. I think it's kind of
Yes.
it's kind of all conglomerate.
Oh,
It's like
boxed up.
bleh.
Let me give you a mental image of one I'll refer to when we talked about the Amazing Spider-Man's 194 and 195. Remember I pointed the origin issue,
Yeah.
how it was broken up? Same kind of same thing I
Yeah.
can
But
tell you
this is
about
worse. At least that has symmetry to it. This one
Yeah,
is like
it's
really
just-
broken up.
that. These basically what I call them jigsaw puzzles where you're
Yeah.
basically getting little small kind of windows that they don't
Yeah.
work. There's no focal point. It's nothing drawing to you to the eye,
The other one
and they're
had
problematic.
At least had,
Give me something that's one of a piece. I mean, I know you're trying to thread different storylines and different things that are going on in the book, but sometimes you just need a good cover should have a focal point. And
Yeah.
here, your eye just wanders over the page.
It's all over the place.
and
It's a
not,
mess.
It's not catching anywhere particularly, and
Yeah.
it's not a good, successful cover in that
No.
sense.
doesn't
No.
matter. It's a key book.
Doesn't
But
matter. It's a key book.
It's
That's
a
why
key,
I own it.
It's a key book, and as far as the inside goes, it's great because you got Chris Claremont writing it. I mean, enough said. I don't have to go.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And one of my favorite artists, Mike Golding, doing the pencils.
Mike Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong as far as the artwork inside. You can't go wrong as far as the significance. It's a beautiful book. It came out August 1981, and it's the first appearance of major X-Men character. And
Rogue,
yeah.
of course, man, yeah.
And,
well, you know, Meatloaf said it best, man. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You got great artists, and you've got like a great key element component. If you don't have the cover, I'll take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Apps.
And I picked up last Saturday. Me and Jose were both at the Retro Rare, both looking at it, both hoeing and humming over it, and I pulled the trigger first. I pulled it first.
There you go.
You thought you killed me, but you only wounded me because a week later I picked it up myself.
Yeah.
You had it 5 minutes longer than I did, Paul.
Anyways, really excited about owning this book.
So am I.
Just crossed another first appearance of an X-Men off my list.
Check mark.
Couldn't be happier.
Hoy hoy.
Don't have a clue.
And again, Jose's not messing around again tonight. Another big boy book. Another really, really nice big boy book. It's Forever People #1. Wow, Jose, nice pickup.
Yeah, taking no prisoners tonight. From February 1971, this has got a good number of key notations. Key goodness includes the first full appearance of Darkseid, the first appearance of the Forever People, the third appearance of Darkseid anywhere, and the first cameo of New Genesis.
Wow.
So, Forever People #1 has 7 panels of Darkseid spread out over 4 pages, and this apparently constitutes a first full appearance. Any case, Forever People #1 has recently blown up in the past few years, but Jimmy Olsen #134 is still more valuable. It has a cameo, a one-pane cameo of Darkseid, and it's his first appearance. Even if it's a cameo, it's roughly twice the price guide-wise for comparable grades between that and Forever People #1. In any case, other than having the first full appearance of Darkseid, this comic is full of key notations. We have the first appearances of the Forever People. These include the characters of Beautiful Dreamer, Big Bear, Mark Moonrider, Seraphan, Viking, and Infinity Man. Viking has been noted as the first black character in DC Comics and preceded Black Racer by about 7 months.
Really?
Yeah, they're all young new gods and oppose the power of the hungry maniac Darkseid. Think of a DC villain equivalent to Thanos. The group came together to utilize the technology of the Mother Box to summon the hero Infinity Man. This is part of Kirby's Fourth World. This issue was both drawn and written by the legend himself, and Al Plastino helped with the pencils, and Vinnie Coletta inked. This book still has room to grow. It's a highly popular DC villain, Darkseid. People don't know him as well if you're not a comic book fan, but he is basically the DCX equivalent of Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
Now, I picked this up from our local Gotham Central. Give it a shout to the guys at Gotham who have actually been sharking up on their vintage wall books. They have been doing a better job. And it stood there for a while. I mean, I looked at it a few times, and I think this is the case where Mike and I, we looked it over before we opened up. We smelled it. We looked at all the pages, and I think they had this misgraded because it has VG on it, and at $140 Canadian, I thought it was too much.
Yeah.
But we looked at it, and I think both me and Mike came to the conclusion that this is more or less not a 4 or a VG grade. This is about a 6.65.
Yeah.
So for $140, which is a little over $100 US, about $105 US, for about a 6, I did very fine. I got it under guide, and I did quite well. So I'm very happy about this pickup. So thanks, guys at Gotham Central. You got me a good book.
Gotham Central, yeah. We don't get a lot of vintage stuff from there, do we?
No. But like I said, I mean, at $140 for a fine book, it was a very fine pickup.
Yeah. And there's some yellowing, obviously a bit of yellowing on the cover, but overall it's not a bad copy at all.
71, but like I said, we've gone through and I've showed enough white cover books, The Amazing Spider-Man, Captain Americas and stuff like that, to know that this is more the norm. This is, like I said, the copies that you get really white are not the norm. Those are the highest, 5-10% or less of the copies that are out there. So, I mean, it's kind of like white envy. Your white envy, like I said, you want a really white book, but I mean, they're tough to get. It's like finding a white rhino. Yeah,
that's for sure. Great book, Jose. Thanks for showing it. Okay, the next 2 books are Big Mike's, and we get a double feature here. We got Action Comics number 372. And what's that next one? Action
400.
Number 400. Wow, Mike, nice books.
Yeah, you know, missing the cons, had to dig around. Got very little room on these. I got a little room on the 372. Absolutely zero on the 400. Pretty much paid what it's worth,
That's a good cover, though.
given
That's
the
a
condition
really
and
good
stuff.
cover.
But you know, I wanted to bring over the Neil Adams. He had done recently variant covers for some of the new stuff. And that's one of the ones he copied
yeah,
himself
he riffed
doing.
on it. I remember seeing
the
it.
rip-off one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was
he's
actually a
ripping
good
off
cover.
himself, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It was done in the style almost of somebody like Amanda Connor, who does, of course, Harley Quinn. Like that kind of a style. I remember the cover exactly who you're riffing off of. Yeah.
So he ripped off himself, basically. He did a few of them, and you've seen the John Romita ones that Paul had shown and stuff like that. So it was a little feature that they had that DC was running where they did that. So anyway, I don't really have the year. These were in the mid 70s, early 70s.
Yeah,
Don't
you
worry,
can
I'll
say
figure
that.
it out.
You
But
see
they
the
are
transition.
They are Neil Adams covers, and if you collect Neil Adams, you gotta have them. So these range around about $20 to $32 US.
1 12-cent, 1 15-cent cover. So you're talking.
So the 12-cent one's worth about $32 US. The 15 cents worth about 20 US. Given the condition they're in, 6.5s.
So basically, you paid a little over guide for their Canadian equivalent. So you basically paid guide. You got no deal necessarily,
I didn't
but
get a deal or anything
you
like
didn't
that,
pay more than what
but
they were
I'm
worth.
so happy to have them.
They're two nice covers, especially the one on the right.
Yeah,
the one on the right is a great cover, and like I said, I've seen that cover before, like getting riffed, and you were right to mention that.
Yeah.
Now we should just, Paul, should put it up the title that it's riffed from. Like that cover, the Man Beast.
I'll see if I can find it.
I
Yeah.
think it might be a Starfire. Let's check that out.
I'll see
Is
if I
it?
can
Because
find.
I was looking through and I'm thinking, where did I
I could
see
be
this
wrong, but I
before?
think it's a Starfire because I collect Starfire.
Well, you're gonna have to
Right,
tell me.
that's
You're
all
gonna have to
set.
tell me the number because I can't go searching over the internet until I find that.
Well, go to the comic book realm, the Starfire, the new 52, done by Connor and stuff like that, and
Okay.
it's only up to issue whatever 12, 11.
12.
I'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find
If that's
it.
the case, then I know where to look now.
Yeah.
Now, just one other thing, just out of interest, I'm looking at the price tag on it, so I know you didn't buy it in Pendragon, and I know you didn't buy
Yes,
it
I
at
did.
Ret.
Those are Pendragon new price
Really?
stickers from Pendragon.
Oh,
yes,
very
he's
cool.
changed his prices. Yeah,
Nice and neat.
he's
Looks-
got a nice, neat little thingy. That's his new pricing.
Pendragon bought himself a label maker.
A label maker.
That's about bloody time.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, great books, Mike. Thanks for bringing them in.
All right.
Okay, and Big Mike's last book of the evening. A nice copy of Fantastic Four number 59. Nice book, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a book we picked up when we were hunting for books. This is on a day that Paul decided to get a haircut, and we were left on our own. So we got the jump on good old Paulie there. Where did we go? People who watched our episodes know where we went. We went to good old Pendragon.
Pendragon.
And one of the cool and good things I can say about a store like Pendragon is to have a breadth of choice. In this instance, for this title, he had not
6
one,
copies.
not 2, not 3, 6 copies.
6
Yes.
copies.
Wow, and great spreads for pricing anyway, from about $30 to well over
To
200.
210, I think was the
210,
largest.
220. So
Tallest one,
you'd
yeah.
think there'd be but we looked at them, and we looked at them closely. At this point, when you're looking at that kind of a pricing spread, you're counting flaws. You're looking at the spines, the corners. You're looking for any soiling, the whiteness of the paper of the cover. Now, normally I feel uncomfortable opening books, so basically we're only judging the book by its cover. But like I said, we didn't seem to notice that there was that much condition difference.
From the cover.
From the cover anyway.
large copy to the
Yeah,
little one.
so like I said, what to do in that kind of instance, if you're unsure, play it safe, be conservative, get the best cover that has the best eye appeal for the best price. And I don't think you chose unwisely buying this copy that he has priced at a little over $30, 40 Canadian. That's not a bad pickup for a grade. That's probably, in my opinion, about a 5.5, maybe 6 on the
I got it
outside.
rated at a 5, and at a 5, there's even a little room on that, which is a great deal.
Yeah,
And when we looked at the covers, they were all yellowed,
yes.
and they all had very little flaw. So
Yeah.
there might be something within the book or on the back page. I'm not sure.
Well, as a run collector that loves reading Fantastic Fours, I'm sure you can update us in a later episode if
absolutely
you
will.
find
You know
anything
I will.
untoward.
You know
Okay,
I will.
wait. You're supposed to open it and look at the book before you walk out of the comic book store with it.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah, please. Like you do that all the time at the cons, please.
Yeah.
Like we spend like hours and hours. Give me
I
a
get
break.
it. But yeah, I mean, when you're spending, 40, $50, yeah,
40 bucks is not bad. If you're spending hundreds, I would say yes. You
Okay.
absolutely would do so. Right?
Granted, we're dealing with Darcy, so we trust him, right?
And we trust them because I mean this is the lowest out of 6 copies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be too upset. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, I don't think I've ever had a book that's not incomplete with him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The last thing we should say, of course, is a Kirby cover, great eye appeal, Doomsday, and it's got Black Bolt, who's got hot right now, along with Medusa for the Inhumans movie.
Nice book, Mike. Thanks
Yeah,
for bringing it in.
Great dynamic cover, Boog.
Special guest Mike, yes.
And now, this is something you don't see very often on our shows. A CGC book. These are few and far in between, but Jose picked up a nice one here. Amazing Spider-Man number 11.
From April of '64.
Wow.
Shout out to Sandy. Thanks, Sandy, man. We picked this up from Retro Rare, man. We hung back while you were buying that collection that had a bit of everything, good, bad, and the ugly. Some bad and ugly too much, maybe. But what I focused on, as soon as those guys were gone, you had a small pile of CGC books, man. I hit that up first, man. And most of them were Amazing Spider-Man, of which the best one and the one that I loved instantly was this one.
Oh, for sure.
Number 11. I'm in heaven with 11. The thrill and the pleasure you got from buying that Iron Man number 1, I can basically now say I feel the same pleasure, of course, getting this second appearance of Dr. Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus. Of course, Dr. Ock has already appeared in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man number 2, played by the fine actor Alfred Molina. Of course, that movie's a lot better than the retread Amazing Spider-Man number 2, which was a bit of a mess if you're being charitable. It seems to possibly also be in a Sinister Six movie and maybe a future Amazing Spider-Man flick. That's not too surprising, though. Doc Ock is one of good old Spidey's most loved villains, after all. Now, if Sony can just get with a program, hire a good writer and put him together with a good director and cast the movie properly, maybe we'll have something. In any case, of course, needless to say, this is not an entirely easy comic to always find. But the second appearance is obviously a definite comic investment to snag, even in lower grades. Sony has plans for this uber popular villain and one well-known spider adversary, so there is room for this book to grow. Now, Darcy has I would say a VG raw book, and he's got it for $350 Canadian. I picked this up from Sandy. He gave me a really good price. I paid $250 Canadian, so $100 less than the Pendragon copy for a CGC book. On the comic book realm, this book is currently listing for $360 US, which is about $450 Canadian. The good thing about looking over Spider-Man, and I've been picking up some Silver Age Spider-Man the last few months, is it's great to picking up a book that you basically had the price splits already almost memorized in your heads. Now, what I mean by that, I knew that the 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 9.2 grades were price-wise, 111, 222, 333, 888, 1994, 3100. So,
wow, talk about Mr.
Exactly. So I know $222 US, which, like I said, is
Very
obviously
good deal.
more. I mean, I basically paid less than guide price in Canadian for the book. So, I mean, shout out to Thanky. And what a nice guy. He gave me, even on top of that, the cherry on top of this sundae is that he threw in a soiled copy of Black Panther number 1, another Kirby
Nice.
classic.
Yeah, nice.
Normally a book that would probably be in that condition, a $15, $20 book, I threw in
Yeah.
for free to make me feel good about that. In any case, of course, picking up Silver Age Spider-Man is like investing in gold, a no-brainer. This is an evergreen, and you watch it grow and grow. The second appearance, of course, is more general, steady increase rather than the first appearance in number 3. But you know what? Great Spider-Man villain, second only, in my opinion, to Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah.
Second appearance, classic Ditko cover, first-year Spider-Man, 13th appearance overall of Spider-Man. How you can date that is that Amazing Fantasy 15 is obviously the first appearance, and between issues 3 and 4, Strange Tales Annual number 2 had, I think, his 4th appearance.
Yeah.
So basically, number 11 would be the 13th appearance of Amazing Spider-Man. Still an early Spider-Man appearance. Great cover. One of the last things to say about the book, when you're getting a CGC, obviously, is that you are taking no risks as far as the grade. This is a nice looking VG copy. And what I mean by that is, guys, even though it's slabbed, buy the book, not the grade. This is a very, very
Cover is
good looking
beautiful, yes.
4. I mean, I've seen 4s, and when you can allow a flaw in a grade like creasing and color breaks and stuff like that, you see some 4s that have a lot of that, and it really mars the eye appeal of the book. It's got moderate wear on the spine. It's got a little bit of crackling on the bottom with color break, and less so on the top. It's got well-worn corners, not completely dog-eared, but rounded.
Yeah.
Another great thing, of course, is, and when you read this in the CGC label, and which everybody should be familiar with, underneath the serial number that is particular to the book, this cherry on top has got white pages for
Nice.
a 52-year-old book. I have books from the mid-70s that are CGC that have off-white or off-white to white pages.
Absolutely.
This bad boy inside, if you should crack it open, has white pages. So that gives it, I think, an extra bump, an extra premium. I mean, for finding a that great copy with white pages inside, I mean, it's a little cherry on top.
Absolutely.
You get the second appearance of one of Spider-Man's most iconic villains.
Second only, in my opinion, to the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
Still used today, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd say this is one of the nicest books we've probably ever shown on the show.
I'd be biased by saying if I said it was. I mean, that Iron Man #1 was very nice, but this is definitely... If I've built my foundation, I've just passed my 100th big boy book. And like I said, this is not a foundation book anymore. This is kind of like a supporting pillar or definitely a major kind of like key to have. It is obviously, needless to say, my most important Amazing Spider-Man book.
And just for the record, Jose, I kind of take issue with the fact that you didn't like Spider-Man #2, the Doc Ock movie, because I thought it was pretty damn good.
Not the original one with Sam Raimi, you fool. The retread one, the new one that came out a 3 years ago.
Okay, all right.
I said at the beginning of my thing, I actually said that this already appeared played by the fine character actor Alfred Molina.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Sam Raimi, not the new one, buddy. Actually, that #2 is of the original movies. That's my favorite of the whole bunch.
Cool, okay. Just so we're on the same page, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Well, fantastic. That was a great episode, and again, we showed some really great books. At least I thought we showed some really fantastic books. Hope you all thought so too. And if you like the episode, leave a comment because we love reading them, and we'll see. I think we already said this. This is the last episode before the Fan Expo. The next episode we're going to show is the Fan Expo episode, and we are so looking forward to that. So we will see you in September.
Hoi hoi.
Special guest Mike. Yes.